All right, we're now joined by Carl Edwards, driver of the number 99 Fastenal Ford for Roush Fenway Racing in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. Carl is currently 9th in point standings and in a position to move on to the next round in the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup. Carl, talk a little bit about this weekend here at the Monster Mile.
Well, I think the pressure is definitely on. I think it's of all the tracks that we could come to and have this race, this one is probably the most dangerous for everyone, just because you can, it's hard on everything. It's hard on the engines, the drivers, the cars. It's easy to get caught up in a wreck, and for that reason, there's a lot of anxiety down there in the garage. But for us, it's a great racetrack. I love racing here, and hopefully we can just have a good solid run, move to the next round.
All right, we'll now open it up for questions. Please state your name and affiliation. We'll start in the back with Jeff Gluck.
Jeff Gluck from USA Today. Carl, I know you've been outspoken about the changes that you had hoped would come with the package for next year. Now that they've been released, what do you think of it?
Well, I think that as long as we can continue in the direction of less downforce, less aero dependence, I think the racing will just get better, and it'll be more fun for everyone. So I'm glad NASCAR is took a little bit of the spoiler away, and at the end of the day, I guess the way it was explained to me is that the engine, that move had to be made, and the way I understand it, we're going to basically overall be with the engine, the horsepower removed, and the small amount of downforce that they remove will be about where we're at right now, and that NASCAR is looking at more and more downforce and aero dependence being taken away for the future, which that's really exciting for me. I mean, they know where I stand. You guys know where I stand. If it were up to me, there'd be no downforce, no side force, and we'd just race stock cars. As long as we're headed that way, I'm happy.
Over to Bob.
Bob Parker, Sporting News. Also, for next year, there's no testing. How will that impact you, the fact that you'll be with a new team and a new crew chief? Do you feel like you'll start off the year with kind of added disadvantage without being able to go test with them?
I don't think so. I think that I'll at the end of the day, I think the no testing is a great move. We're all in the same. It's all the same for everyone. If we test a ton or if we test none, there will be a little bit of difference in my situation, just because I won't get an opportunity to really work with those guys. But we'll work all that out. I mean, that's especially with the format, the way the championship is now. I don't feel like that should be too much trouble to get going, even if it takes us a race or two.
Additional questions for Carl? Up front with Lee.
Lee Spencer, Motorsport.com. Do you think that the changes will affect the Gibbs cars as they are now? I mean, from the standpoint of with the new rules package, the changes that they made at the start of the season, they didn't seem to acclimate as quickly as other organizations. Now they're going through these changes again. Do you think it'll be a hindrance to them?
Yeah, I haven't really thought much about that. I mean, my focus is to win the championship this year for Jack and the Fastenal Ford, and when this year's over, I'll start work on next season. And that's how I've done things my whole career. Whether I'm changing teams or changing series or whatever, I try really hard to focus on what I'm doing now, because as soon as you take that focus away, the opportunity for people to take advantage of you, it's right there. So for me, I haven't thought about that.
Over to Reed.
Reed Spencer with NASCAR Wire Service. With no testing and no preseason thunder next year, is it going to feel like more of a real off-season, and are you going to make plans to do something elaborate during the off-season?
Who knows? We've had some pretty good off-season adventures around the world, and people have started asking me if we're going to do another one, and so I haven't planned anything yet, but I think it is good, and not really for the drivers. I mean, you guys know, I mean, we've got it really easy compared to basically everyone else in the sport. And for the guys, though, I can tell how excited they are to hopefully have a little bit more time with their families and time at home. And I think NASCAR is making a great move there. And instead of just going to Daytona and doing the same thing that we've done, they've talked a little bit about going and doing something kind of like our Chase Across North America, which for me was a blast, and I think everybody had a good time with that. So if I don't think there's a downside to any of the downside at all to less testing and less time on the track at Daytona.
Any final questions? All right, Carl, thanks
right.
for coming in, and good luck
Thanks,
this
guys.
weekend.
All right, appreciate it.